Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Jab here from Cut and Make Crafts. How are you guys doing today? Hello, hello. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple of seconds to pop over. Hello, everyone. I am Jab, and I help creatives with a full-time job make extra cash on the side from selling SVG cut files in their sleeve. So, for the past couple of days, I've been going live talking all about SVGs, what you need to know about designing SVGs, about selling SVGs, the types of SVGs that make the most money, and some of the mind blocks that you need to work on if you want to start a successful SVG business, because it's not just about making money, it's also about before you start making that money, you gotta handle those mind blocks like I'm not good enough, my designs are not gonna make money, and things like that. You need to also work on those mindset blocks which are holding you back from becoming a successful SVG designer, or successful in running a successful SVG business. All right, so today I am the most important thing. In the last couple of days, I did a series uh, on what to do if you're not happy with your salary and your job. So make sure you guys watch that. It's super helpful. We talked about the things that you need to do right now if you want to get out of this sad phase of life, this miserable phase of life. If you want to improve your life and start living the life of your dreams, don't forget to watch that series. You can find that on my YouTube, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, anywhere. So today I am going to be talking about, it's basically an awareness video, today's video. And I'm going to be talking about why your savings and your job are not enough to live in today's era. I mean, you can live, but if you want to live your dream life, then it's not enough. You need to up your game. You need to take charge of your situation. If you really want to give a better life to your kids, if you really don't just want to live hand to mouth, just paying bills and buying groceries. If you want to do more than that, if you want to cut down your hours, if you want to spend more time with your kids, then just relying on your job and your savings is not enough. And I'm going to show you guys why. So, number one fact that everybody needs to know is that money is losing its value by 2% every year due to inflation. Every year, the inflation rate increases by 2%. So let's say you saved up $10,000 5 years ago. So what's the value of the money now if there's a 2% inflation rate? Just around $9,000. In 5 years, the $10,000 that you save is now worth about $9,000 because it has lost its value over the 5 years. And you have just lost $1,000 just like that without even spending. Whatever you could buy with $10,000 5 years ago, now you can't buy that. You'd have to but you have to put in extra, because that $10,000 is just worth $9,000 in today's market, because cash just loses its value. Each dollar today is worth less than what it was yesterday. 20 years ago, you could buy gas for just $1.35 in 2002. And I got those stats from Statista. If you want to have a look, you can check it out. 20 years ago, you could buy gas for $1.35. And what's the gas price today? Who can tell me what's the gas price today? $4.32. How crazy is that? This is thanks to inflation. Your cash is losing its purchasing power by 2% every single year. If you're making $50,000 today, next year your salary would be worth 2% lesser than the previous year. And considering how rare it is to get a raise every year, by the next 5 years, your 50K salary would only be worth 45K. Are you getting the point? Like, your salary, even though it's going to remain the same, but it's going to be hard to live on that salary because the price of everything is going to skyrocket. You'd be working the same number of hours, yet the value of your salary would be $5,000 lesser. Here, I just want to show you guys a couple of pictures highlighting what inflation rate does to the market, to the world. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. So here is an image that I found on the internet highlighting how the coffee prices have gone up over the past couple of years. So here you can see, if you compare the prices from 1970 to 2000, it's a huge difference. From 25 cents to $1 whole dollar. And in 2019, it was around $1.59. Let me just reduce the size so everything can fit in one. So here you can see, over the years, the price has increased so much, from 25 cents to $1.59. And you can do your own research. You can check out all the different prices. We have the example of the gas price from $1.35 to crazy price of $4, right? That's a crazy inflation rate going on there. And how is this going to affect you? Have you ever thought about that? Things are just going to get more unaffordable. Whatever you can afford today with that 50K salary, tomorrow you won't be able to do that. By tomorrow, I mean in the next 5 years, or probably in the next year as well. Because the interest rates are up, inflation rate is up, but your salary remains the same. So you'd have to cut down your expenses. Maybe you would have to give up on that trip that you have been dreaming of. Maybe you'd have to stop sending your kids to extracurricular activities. Maybe you'd have to sell your house. Maybe you'd have to, I don't know. You'd have to do something to survive, to make the ends meet. Today you have one school age kid. 5 years from now, you're going to have two. So how are you going to afford to pay for them when your salary loses its worth and your expenses increase? It's just going to get worse. Since the 1950s, the inflation has been positive nearly every year. Let me show you guys. I got this image from Investopedia. And you can see the inflation rate is positive. It's only going up since 1950. So this is the graph I want you to focus on. Let me just zoom out and show you guys the whole graph. So this is the US historical inflation rate. And this is on the side, you have the annual inflation rate on the x-axis, and on the y-axis, you have the years. And you can see before 1950s, you had some sort of positive inflation. I mean, the inflation rate was going down, but since the 1950s, it's just going up, up, and up. Look at the graph on this side. The inflation rate is just rising and rising. It's not declining like it used to in the past. And here's another graph. Loss of American purchasing power as measured by the CPI. So here you can see how the value of the dollar has decreased over the past 100 or so years. So if you had $1 from 1950, it's now worth only 8.8 cents. And in 1960, it was worth 10.8 cents. $1 from 2010 is now worth 90.4 cents. So this shows us how the purchasing power has declined over the past couple of years. And this is crazy. What you can buy from using $1 in 1950, you can barely afford it now. Are you getting the point here? A constant 2% inflation rate would equal an 18.3% loss over a 10-year period. So this is crazy, guys. And this is not even the latest data. It's from 2000. It stops at 2010, but you can still see how much difference it makes. The value, how less the worth of money is now compared to what it was ages ago in the 1950s. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. This is why relying on your savings and your income is not enough. You need to up your game if you don't want to fall below the poverty line. Because if you just rely on your job and on your savings, oh well, I have $10,000 savings. I'm happy. I will survive. But 5 years from now, that $10,000 is just gonna be worth $9,000. So if your monthly expenditure is $2,000, how long will you be able to survive on that savings? Just about 4.5 months. You thought you would be good to go for 5 months. But 5 years from now, you realize the prices have gone so high up compared to what it was 5 years ago that you can barely survive for 4 months. And a lot of people are pretty comfortable with their jobs. Oh, I'm making 60K, I'm making 70K, I'm making 80K. But guess what? You are replaceable. No matter what position you're in, you are always replaceable. And guess what? Your salary is not fixed. Just the other day, I was reading this headline that the University of Missouri has announced 25% cut in faculty salaries. 25%. That's a crazy amount, guys. Not even 5%, not 1%, not 2%. 25% cut in faculty salary. So your salary is not fixed. Tomorrow, if you're making 80K today, tomorrow you might be making just 70K or 60K. So how are you going to cope up with that? And the inflation rate is going high. So how are you going to stay ahead of that? And if you were kicked out of your work a couple of years ago, when layoffs weren't so common like they are now, you would be given a cash buffer, some kind of severance pay for about 4 to 6 months, right? But that is so uncommon these days. Have you heard of somebody living on severance pay for 4 to 6 months in the past couple of months? So many people lost their job due to pandemic. How many people are currently living on severance pay from their companies? Think about it. If you're lucky enough, you receive 4 to 6 weeks of severance, and that's it. That's if you're lucky. Otherwise, zero, nothing. When we got laid off, right after we moved to Australia, we were working in an airline company, and all of a sudden they just kicked us out without any severance pay or anything, literally. Thankfully, my husband had a second job. Thankfully, we had some savings to survive, and I was running my business, so it didn't affect as much. But if we didn't have all those options, then we would have been on the road. You need to be ready for literally anything that comes in your way. You can't just sit comfortably where you are right now, because everyone is replaceable, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're an attorney, it doesn't matter if you're a nurse, it doesn't matter if you're a teacher. Every single person is replaceable. I mean, just hop onto LinkedIn right now. How many people are constantly looking for jobs for the same damn job? People are constantly changing jobs, looking for jobs, hiring for new jobs, etc. And if you decide to get too comfortable at your job and the boss doesn't like it, they can get rid of you just like that. It doesn't matter if the VP likes you, if you have a good connection with someone in the HR. If your boss decides to let you go, that's it. And now that people have the option to work from home, it's easier to outsource the work. It's very easy. That is why a lot of people are losing their jobs in the pandemic. So if you want to continue living your current life the way you have been living now, with all those comforts around you, and you want to make sure that you have enough saved for your kids' future, then you got to start taking some action immediately. You got to get that business running. And even the celebrities understand that. The A-list celebrities, the top celebrities, Rihanna, Sarah Jessica Parker, Ryan Reynolds, countless celebrities, they all have some sort of side hustle. And today, Rihanna is a billionaire. How do you think she became a billionaire? She didn't become a billionaire based on her day job, which is singing. She became a billionaire because of her side hustle, her beauty products, her lingerie line. Those are the things that made her a billionaire. Like, even the celebrities understand it's not a wise decision to rely on your paycheck. Even the celebrities understand that, and they use their prime days and convert them into some sort of business to make sure they have some extra cash flow coming in. Everybody loves SJP, right? Sarah Jessica Parker. What do you think made her rich? It's not her role in the series as Carrie Bradshaw. No, it was her side project, her perfume line that she launched. And most of her financial security today comes from the money she made from her perfume line. And today she has multiple businesses. She has multiple high-end shoe stores, SJP. She has a production business. She has an online bookstore. She has a winery in New Zealand. That woman is unstoppable. She is phenomenal. Why do you think she's doing all that? Because she knows the power of having a side hustle. She's smart enough to not just rely on her paycheck. And today she's worth around $150 to $200 million, all thanks to her side hustles. She's an amazing entrepreneur. And when she was young, she was from a very big family. There were like seven siblings. She had 7 siblings living under one roof, and it was very difficult. If you check out her interview, like, she started from very humble beginnings. So she understands if she loses all this money, she's going to end up back there, and she doesn't want to do that. That is why she's running all of those side hustles, and she's so successful. And what are we doing sitting here? What are you doing sitting here? All comfy, all cushy, in your comfort zone. Oh, I have a job. It doesn't matter. Oh, I have savings. It doesn't matter. You have a calling. You're smart. You are talented. You are creative. You have the ability to provide your kids with the best present and the best future. Stop saying no to your kids because you can't afford something. Figure out a way to do that. Figure out a way to provide for them. Saying no is easy, but going out of your way to make it possible for them, that's where change happens. That's what you need to do. If you want to give your kids the best future by making sure 10 years from now they continue to have the same luxuries that you're offering them today, then you have the option to shape the best future for your kids. And you're choosing to stay comfortable. Oh, I don't need a business. I have savings, I have my job, and that's it. I don't need an extra consistent monthly income. But how long is your job and your savings going to support you? Just the other day, someone shared that her son lost 30K from savings. Savings don't stay. Jobs don't stay. If there's one thing that you want to take away from today's live session, is that savings and jobs don't stay. And there's a crazy inflation rate going on. So you need to figure out a way to make money so that you can support your family, so you can continue living the life of your dreams. It's time for you to get up and take charge of your situation. Find out a way to make things better. Find out a way to make things possible for yourself and your kids. And if you are running if you have a full-time job, the best business to get started with is the SVG business, because you literally make money on autopilot in your sleep. And if you want to get the step-by-step guide on how to start a successful SVG business, be sure to grab my free SVG Business Success Roadmap from the link in my bio. And if you are on Facebook or YouTube, you can find the link in the description. All right, that is all for today. I hope you guys found this live session helpful, and I'll be back tomorrow once again to help you guys out. So if you have missed any of the previous sessions, go back and check them out on my feed, on YouTube, Facebook, as well as on Instagram. All right, that's all for today. Bye-bye.